Welcome to Nazarene Israel. My name is Norman Willis, and in Ephesians chapter 5, starting in verse 14, the apostle Shaul, quoting the Father Yahweh, says, "Awake, you who sleep, arise from the dead, and Messiah will give you light." And many of us feel that we're already fulfilling this verse. We feel we've already awoken as if from our spiritual slumber. We have already arisen as if from the spiritually dead. And our reason for believing this is that we're already aware of our identities as the lost tribes of Israel. We're already beginning to rest on the Sabbath and feast days, and we're already reading the weekly Torah portions, and our worship begins to look more Hebraic all the time. But are we aware of the deeper implications of this passage? And are we awake to our requirement for us to be the ones to establish the Messiah's kingdom in these end times? Consider. We know that Yeshua is a great king, and in Isaiah or Yeshayahu chapter 9 and verse 6, we're told that the government will be upon Yeshua's shoulder, and of the increase of his government, and of the shalom or the peace of his kingdom, there will be no end. So we're praying and waiting for his kingdom to be set up, and for the shalom of his kingdom to continually increase. But yet instead, all we see is Matthew 24 knocking on the door. We see the foundations of the new world order being set up. We see threats that there may come a time when we may not be able to buy or sell unless we take a microchip or a vaccine or some other kind of a mark of a Babylonian beast system. But are we aware that it's our job to establish Yeshua's kingdom, and it's our job to help it grow and continue to increase without end? And people say, well, how could that possibly be? Isn't that the Messiah's job to establish his kingdom? Isn't that something he's supposed to do? Well, let's consider. In Exodus or Shemot, chapter 17 and verse 14, Yahweh spoke to Israel and said that he would be the one to utterly blot out the remembrance of Israel's enemy Amalek from under heaven. So Yahweh said that he would be the one to do it. And then in Deuteronomy or Devarim, chapter 25 and verse 19, Yahweh then commanded Israel that you will blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And don't forget. So which is it? Was Yahweh to be the one to blot out the remembrance of Amalek? Or was Israel to be the one to blot out the remembrance of Amalek? Well, let's consider further. In Daniel chapter 7, starting in verse 26, and we explain this in the Revelation study, about the time of trumpet 7, the heavenly court shall be seated, and what they'll do is they shall take away the kingdom and dominion of a character called the little horn, whom we explain in that study is the papacy or the pope, to consume and destroy his kingdom forever. It says, and then the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdoms under the whole heaven shall be given to the people, the saints of the Most High. That's Nazarene Israel. But yet it says, his kingdom shall be an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So people say, wait a minute, I don't understand. How can his kingdom be an everlasting kingdom, and how can all dominions serve and obey him when the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdoms under the whole heaven are given to the people, to the saints of the Most High? How can it be that the kingdom and dominion is given to Nazarene Israel, and yet all kingdoms and dominions shall serve and obey him? And the answer is simply that he is our head and Israel is his body. So when the body does something, it's the head who gets the credit for it. And husband and wife are one flesh. So this is a wake-up call for those of us who sleep. This is a wake-up call to realize that it's our job to establish the Messiah's kingdom in these end times. So we read the news, and perhaps we even understand where we are in terms of the Revelation timeline. But are we awake to our requirement to establish a single global unified ministry for Yeshua worldwide, which is to serve as the foundation for Yeshua's coming kingdom? The point is that there's something to do. In Deuteronomy or Devarim, chapter 6, starting in verse 4, we pray the great Shema. And the word Shema means not just hear, but it means hear and obey, O Israel. There's something to do. He says, Yahweh our Elohim, Yahweh is one. And we are to love Yahweh our Elohim with all of our heart, with all of our soul, and with all of our strength. And if there's nothing to do, why do we need to worship him and love him with all of our strength? Clearly, there's something to do. Now, what does it mean to Shema? So we look up the word. It's Strong's Hebrew Concordance, Hebrew 8085. And it's Shema. It's a primitive root, and it means to hear intelligently or to hear with wisdom. Not just to hear and then do nothing, but to hear and then obey, because there's an implication of paying attention, because these are the words of our Creator and our Elohim. And there's also an implication of obedience, because if we hear the Creator's words and don't obey them, if we don't do what it is he tells us to do, then that qualifies as rebellion, and rebellion is punishable by death. Well, this is where the Apostle James or Yaakov gets the concept in Yaakov 1 and verse 22 that we need to be doers of the word and not just hearers only, deceiving ourselves, thinking that we're going to be heir to some great reward, really when we're in rebellion. So we need to not just hear what he says to do, but we need to actually do it. The Apostle Shaul or Paul says the same thing in Romans or Romim chapter 2, starting in verse 5. And he tells us that if we don't obey because our hearts are hard toward him, we're treasuring up wrath for ourselves. And he says, and in accordance with our hardness and our impenitent hearts, we're treasuring up for ourselves wrath in the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of Elohim, who will render to each one according to his deeds. So again, our recompense is not according to what we believe, it's not according to what we know, but it's according to what we actually do. How many of us understand this? In verse 7, he continues and he tells us that there's eternal life will be given to those who by patient continuance in doing good seek glory, honor, and immortality. And in context, doing good means to do good for Yeshua's kingdom. But not to do good for Yeshua's kingdom is defined as the wrong thing. And he says, but to those who are self-seeking and who do not obey the truth. In other words, they knew what to do, they just didn't want to do it. And that qualifies as obeying unrighteousness. And on them will be indignation and wrath, tribulation and anguish on the soul of every man who does evil as opposed to doing Yeshua's good. He says of the Jew first and also of the Greek. So are we doing what Yeshua says to do? That's obeying the truth. That's doing the good. Or are we hearing what Yeshua wants us to do, and then we're not actually doing it with all of our heart, with all of our soul, and all of our strength? That's considered rebellion in Scripture. So what are we required to do? In Matthew or Matidyahu, chapter 28, starting in verse 18, this is the Great Commission. So Yeshua spoke to us, saying, all authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. He says, go therefore and make disciples in all the nations, immersing them in my name. And if we want to know why we immerse in Yeshua's name only, please read the study on why we immerse in Yeshua's name only. It's in Nazarene Scripture Studies, Volume 3. You can find it free on the website. You can also download a PDF copy for free, or you can purchase a copy in paperback at Amazon.com at our cost. But what he says, go therefore and make disciples in all the nations, immersing them in my name. And you know it's a disciple because he says to teach them to observe or to guard. In Hebrew, the word is probably shomer. In other words, teach them to do all the things that I have commanded you. So we hear the things he commands us to do, and then we are to do them. And he says, behold, I'm with you always, even to the end of the age. And if we hear the things, in Hebraic thought, if we hear the things that he tells us to do, but we don't do them, it's as if we didn't hear. So what does Yeshua command us to do in Ephesim or Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 11? It tells us that Yeshua himself gave some to be apostles, some to be prophets, some to be evangelists, and some pastors and teachers. These are the 5 ministry gifts. It's called the fivefold ministry gifts. And the purpose was to equip the saints for the work of ministry so that they could then edify or build up the body of Messiah. So these 5 gifts are necessary to build up and to edify the body of Messiah. And how long was it supposed to last? It was to last until we all come to the unity of the faith. Hasn't happened yet. It was supposed to last until we all come to the knowledge of the Son of Elohim, to be perfect men, or to be a perfect man, to be a perfect body of Messiah, to the measure of the stature of the fullness of Messiah. Well, it hasn't happened yet. So the reason we need to keep practicing with these gifts is because these gifts are the way we come to be in the unity of the faith. These gifts are the way that we edify and grow up together as the body of Messiah. So we can't do away with these gifts yet. And what's the promise? It says, if we will obey according to these gifts, if we will do according to the gifts that Yeshua gave, then we will no longer be spiritual children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the trickery of men, by the trickery of the messianic leaders and teachers, in the cunning craftiness of deceitful plotting, by having more than one ministry. Because what Yeshua wants is one single unified ministry in which all of his true servants all serve together. So what's the antidote? He says, by speaking the truth in love, that Yeshua's body may grow up together in all things into him who is the head, Messiah. The mental picture is as if Yeshua's head is suspended up in the heavens, and we need to come together and help each other pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, so to speak, so that we can grow into the Messiah. But we're all supposed to work together, not this ministry and that ministry and another ministry and some other ministry, but there's supposed to be one single ministry, one single body of Messiah, in which everyone works together to form a unified kingdom of Messiah. That's why it tells us, from whom the whole body, joined and knit together by what every joint supplies, according to the effective working by which every part does its share. So when every part of the body contributes together, according to discipline, according to what it can, this is what causes the growth of the body for the edifying of itself in love. And once again, if we obey what Yeshua said, it qualifies as obedience. And if we disobey what Yeshua says, it qualifies as rebellion. So I don't know how many people I've explained this to over the years, but I'll never forget, I explained to one brother, I explained to him the whole thing. I explained the fivefold ministry and the foundation of apostles and prophets. I explained the Great Commission and what it is that Yeshua expects for us to do. And this is a brother, he considers himself a sold out, dead to the flesh disciple. And you know what he said? He said, oh, man, that just sounds like a lot of work. Well, in Luke or Luca chapter 6 and verse 46, Yeshua says, Why do you call me Adon or Master, Master, and you do not do the things which I say? Don't you understand you're treasuring up judgment for yourselves? He continues in verse 47. He says, whoever comes to me and hears my sayings and does them, meaning he shamas, he hears what Yeshua says and he does it. Yeshua says, I'll show you whom he is like. He's like a man who built a house and dug deep and laid the foundation on the rock, on Yeshua. So he's dwelling in Yeshua. Yeshua is dwelling in him. Yeshua in the Father and the Father in him. He's making himself an empty vessel through which Yeshua's Spirit can manifest. His foundation is secure. And when the flood arose and the stream beat vehemently against that house, it could not shake it because it was founded upon the rock. It was doing the things that Yeshua said to do. But he who heard Yeshua's words and did nothing is like a man who built a house on the earth without a foundation, against which the stream beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Brothers, sisters, how many of us hear Yeshua's words and take them to heart and do all of them? And how many of us hear Yeshua's words and don't do them all? That's what this passage is about. Are we awake to this requirement to do everything that Yeshua says to do, even if it sounds like a lot of work? Our reward or punishment is based upon our work. In Revelation or Hitgalut, chapter 22 and verse 12, Yeshua says, behold, I am coming quickly, and my reward is with me to give to everyone according to his work. There's a lot of people, they think their reward is based upon what they know. Our reward is based according to our works for Yeshua's kingdom. Are we helping to build Yeshua's kingdom? Are we truly doing Yeshua's work? Or are we rather instead asleep to Yeshua's commandment? So who do we have on the throne? Do we have Yeshua on the throne and we're washing his feet? Or are we still on the throne and Yeshua is still washing our feet? You know, the funny thing about Yeshua is he will let us sit on our throne and he will come wash our feet. But, you know, when children are born, I mean, this is their job, is to eat and to grow. And someone else feeds them, someone else takes care of them, someone else pays their way, someone else changes them, someone else cleans them, someone does all the things for them. And that's just fine for a little brand new baby. But for someone who's been in the faith a long time, you know, as a baby grows, first it needs to begin taking care of itself. It needs to learn to clean itself and to clean up after itself. And then as the baby continues to grow, turn into a young adult, it needs to begin helping out around the home if it loves its father. So if our Father is a great king, do we love him enough to begin helping his kingdom grow? And if we're Yeshua's bride, do we love Yeshua enough to help him begin to build his kingdom? Because that's really what he wants, is a Proverbs 31 bride who helps him build his kingdom. So are we that Proverbs 31 bride doing the things that we know Yeshua wants us to do? So I don't know what the judgment is going to be like, but we know that Yeshua is our advocate and that he will advocate for those who help him build his kingdom in the day of judgment. And I just imagine, whether we're on our face or on our knees, Yahweh is sitting there on his great white throne, and he's going to read the list of everything that we did good and everything that we failed to do. And probably, at least for me, the list of the things that we failed to do is going to be a lot longer than the list of the things that we did good. But then I just imagine, I don't know this, but I imagine he's going to turn to Yeshua and he's going to ask Yeshua, what does he say? And for some of them, Yeshua is going to say, wait, Father, this one really tried to serve me. Now, he messed up. He did this wrong. He did that wrong. He didn't get this right. He didn't get that right. But you know what? I could tell that his heart was in the right place because he really tried. So, Father, this one, leave this one for me. I'll work with this one. So, considering the awesomeness of that day, are we leaving anything to chance, or are we truly giving Yeshua our utmost? Are we really giving him the most that we can give him, understanding the awesomeness of that day? Well, in Luke or Luca chapter 19, starting in verse 11, sometimes we think that the things were different in the first century than they are right now, but maybe not, because as the disciples listened to Yeshua, he told them another parable, because the disciples seemed to think that the kingdom of Elohim would appear immediately. Now we know there's different levels to the kingdom. So there are certain levels and certain different aspects to the kingdom. But Yeshua said, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and then to return. He's talking about himself going off to heaven to receive the kingdom. So he called 10 of his servants and delivered to them 10 minas and said to them, do business until I come. Now we might imagine that these are the 10 lost tribes and he's delivering 10 minas, which refers to their 10 saved lives. And what he's saying is, build my kingdom, do business until I come. Now this is a second group. It says that his citizens hated him and sent a delegation after him, saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. Now, this is speaking of Orthodox Judah, the Pharisees. And so it was that when he returned, having received the kingdom, he then commanded his servants, to whom he had given the money, to be called to him, that he might know how much every man had gained for him by trading. He wanted to know, what have we done for him to help build his kingdom in his absence? He says, the first came to him, saying, Master, your mina has earned 10 minas. And he said to him, well done, good servant. Because you were faithful in a very little, have authority over 10 cities. In other words, you did well with a little. Now let's see what you can do with more. And then the second came, saying, Master, your mina has earned 5 minas. And likewise he said to him, you also be over 5 cities. Once again, you've been faithful with a little. Let's see what you can do with some more. And then another came, saying, Master, here is your mina. Now we're referring to the man's saved life. He says, which I've put away in a handkerchief, because I feared you, for you're an austere man. Well, kings can be that way. He says, you collect what you did not deposit and reap what you did not sow. Again, kings can be that way. Now, what are we talking about here, though? What is this man? So, is this possibly someone who's reading his weekly Torah portion, and he's resting on the Sabbath and feast days, and he's taking a Hebraic outlook toward the scriptures, but he's not helping Yeshua to build his global kingdom? He's not actually doing anything for Yeshua. Could it possibly be that? And he said to him, out of your own mouth I will judge you, you wicked servant. You knew that I was an austere man, collecting what I did not deposit and reaping what I did not sow. Why then did you not put my money in the bank, that at my coming I might have at least collected it with interest? So I don't know, but I just imagine that the servant was very surprised by this, because in his eyes, he didn't do anything wicked. He just wanted to make sure that the master's mina would be safe. So he just laid it aside in a handkerchief. He didn't set out to do anything evil, but he didn't do the good that his master expected him to do. And that's the difference. And the master said to those who stood by, take the mina from him and give it to him who has 10 minas. But they said, Master, he already has 10 minas, because the servants are thinking that everything's supposed to be even in the kingdom. And that's not how it is. The master is going to give more to those who help him build his kingdom, and those who don't help him build his kingdom are going to be judged to be unfaithful. He says, "For I say to you that to everyone who has, even more will be given, and from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him." And then he says, "And bring here those enemies of mine who did not want me to reign over them, and slay them before me." So the principle is that we need to obey Yeshua. We need to do the things that he says, not just hear his words. So this is a wake-up call for those who are asleep to the requirement of helping Yeshua to build his kingdom. Shalom.